working with Neil at Fortitude Financial Planning for 20 plus years. And this year we've both retired, which was part of the plan, what we wanted to do. We knew we needed a pension, we knew we needed to save, but we didn't know how much to save, what would be enough. And Neil helped us through that whole process, understanding what we wanted to do, when we wanted to do it, and sort of helped us map out a roadmap for our life and for our money. If there were certain things we wanted to do, did they derail the plan that we had? What were the implications? Would we have to work longer, work differently? It's been really helpful just having the roadmap to follow as we've gone through life in the last 20, 25 years. And now we feel, well, I feel comfortable.
Yeah, actually creating that relationship with the planner so that you could actually be open with them about what you want to achieve and what have you. And it was a really good relationship that we've created with Neil at Fortitude. We feel as though we're on the same page with him, and it's nice to have gone through the last 20 years with him, and I think he's pleased with seeing how our plan has developed as well. I always felt that it was good that we both attended the sessions. As they were on a yearly basis, there was a lot of things that happened between the two of us in different ways in our work life and what have you. So even understanding maybe with a third party where each of our ideals were heading and whether or not they changed over that time. So actually sitting down, the three of us in the sessions was an ideal chance to make sure that, again, we were all on the same page.
The money's just an enabler. So we knew certain things that we wanted to do, we knew where we wanted to live, we knew we wanted to buy a different house, we knew what we wanted to stop work, etc., etc. And discussing those things with Neil and saying, you know, what if we bought this house, what if we did this, what if the other? At the end of that conversation about our lifestyle and what we wanted to do, we would say, well, is there sufficient money, or can there be sufficient money to allow us to do those things? And if there's not, what can we change? It could be something really simple, like if you just worked an extra couple of years, then that would be fine. That's, you know, do something today, that's the implication in 10 years' time is you've got to work 2 years longer. So if you understand that, you can make a sensible decision.
I think with the fact that we've had 20 years experience of financial planning, it is something that maybe wasn't something that people of our age would have been interested in then. But I have to say that I think it's probably one of the most best bits of financial advice that we took at that time. And now, okay, 20 years later, we're now seeing the rewards of it while we're still young enough to enjoy it and to see the fruits of our labour.
Well, it does make you think, doesn't it? I mean, when Neil sits you down and you're sort of in your, I don't know, late 20s, something like that, and says, you know, what do you want to do? When do you want to stop work? What are your aspirations for your life? And at that point, you're really just sort of living from week to week, thinking about where you're going to go on holiday, where you're going to go out at the weekend, etc., etc. You're not really thinking about the money that you're going to need for the rest of your life. So it's good to have in the background a plan that you can work or you can measure yourself against to say, I know I want to do this, I know I want to stop working when I'm 50, 55, 60, whatever it may be. Have I got any hope of achieving that? So it's like having a plan. So you know what you want to do, and on the way you can check off mile markers to see if you're on plan, if you're on track, or if you're hopelessly off and lost. Then you can decide to stay lost, stay off track, or you can get back on it and take the right action. But at the end of the day, that whole planning process and following the roadmap allows you to know where you are and what actions that you need to take if you're not going in the right direction. The thing, certainly for me, and I think Nicki agrees, but she may disagree with me, is it's not about the product. That's just something that happens at the end. It's about, what do you want to achieve with your life? What are the things that you want to do? What are the things that are important for you? And then how can we make that happen? And certainly knowing Neil, and I imagine with the industry, if you've got no hope of making that happen, then they'll at least tell you. And then you can decide what you need to do differently. Just sitting there hoping and then getting to 70 and find no, that didn't really work is not an option. You've only got one hit. So I think it's been an invaluable process and invaluable for life.
I think more people need to get into looking at financial planning. I think we're seeing now that there are more constraints and liabilities that people are going to have in later life, and you really need to be able to plan those things, because you need to look after yourself.